Welcome back to the Nobody Asked for This podcast. I think I'm starting to realize why I sing in the beginning. I mean, sing's a strong word, but why I say welcome back. I think it provides like a 3-second delay for me to start thinking about what the hell I'm actually going to talk about for the remainder of the episode, for the other like 30 minutes or 29 minutes and what's the math on that? 57 seconds of the episode. Because I have nothing, to be honest. That's not true. I have nothing planned. I have nothing that I want to say. But somehow I clicked that red button on my fancy podcasting equipment, aka my phone. And stuff just starts flowing. Is it like important stuff? No. Is it stuff that needs to be heard? Also no. Is it stuff that like I need to be putting on the internet? No. Is it hurting anybody? Also no. That's like 7 no's. And I think if you are about to do anything and are questioning yourself, and every question you ask your own self, whether that be through live feed on the internet or just in your own head, if you keep saying no, 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 I think that's more reason than ever to do it. So yeah, here we are, episode 63, I think. Maybe 62, maybe 64, give or take episode 63. And I think there's no better place to start than continuing with fall, autumn, whatever you want to call it, watch 2023. We have been slowly, eagerly, desperately anticipating the start of fall, the last few episodes of the, whatever this is called, Nobody Asked for This podcast. And I have some very exciting updates. The day you are hearing this, the day that this episode comes out, which just happens to be the day after I'm recording this, is the day, say day again, is the day that the pumpkin spice latte makes its triumphant return. Now, I can't imagine that it's a coincidence that this episode is coming out on the same day as the pumpkin spice latte revival. You know, I don't know if it's normally on a Thursday, which is the same day that the Nobody Asked for This podcast released new episodes. But I have to think it is. I have to think they're going to email me in an 11th hour attempt to get some sort of like partnership, some sort of ad relationship started. Because, I mean, yeah, they're releasing this on the day that the second to last August episode of the Nobody Asked for This podcast comes out. And I just can't imagine that that's not on purpose. You know, the people at Starbucks, they're very smart. They're very smart, these people, and they know what they're doing. And I can't imagine that they would just make such an oversight as to release the pumpkin spice latte the same day that I'm releasing the 63rd episode of the Nobody Asked for This podcast, and not, like, let us both financially, economically, socially benefit from it. They're just not that stupid. But regardless, I'm gonna be honest, at this point in recording, I haven't heard anything from them. That doesn't mean I won't. If anything, it means like the contract that they're drafting up, like they're just going back and forth in their offices about like how much money they're gonna offer me. You know, the mermaid is probably like, no, like maybe $3 billion a year, and then the other, you know, the suits are like probably $1.5 billion is like more closer to what we can afford. So, whatever, I'll just be waiting. I have nothing going on. I'll just be refreshing the email and just cross our fingers. How much is Starbucks worth? Like, how much could they realistically get away with paying me? How much? Starbucks isn't like a public company. How much is Starbucks worth? Because I also don't really understand the whole worth of it all. Like, if you're worth something, that doesn't mean that you have that in the bank. Okay. $110.49 billion as of August 21st, 2023. Okay, so that was like 2 days ago. So I can't imagine anything's changed that much. Now, I did buy, I placed about a $10 order yesterday. So they're 110 billion, 0.49, I can't do the math, plus add an extra $10 on that we know of. There was a couple other people in line at the drive-thru as well, and I'd imagine, their sales were great. Okay. So if they're worth 110 billion, they can give me 3 of those billion. I'm really not asking for much. That's like a very small percentage. What's the percentage? 110. Yeah, that's like less than 3% of their money. They'll be fine. I still didn't figure out if they're public. Is Starbucks public? We made stock options a reality. Oh. Yes, they are a publicly traded company, and they offer their employees, like, stocks. That's pretty cool. Huh. Okay, well, if they have a stock, let's go into the stocks app, which I still don't fully understand. Stocks. No. Okay, here we go. Let's see the plus minus. Is it red or is it green? I'm seeing a lot of green. This is looking like a good day. Uh-oh. Ah, shoot. They're in the reds. Well, not like in the reds, but... Okay, Okay, so they're only valued at... Or they're only 95.18. I don't know what that means. I'm really not understanding what that means. But that's okay. That's all good. Oh, good news. The pumpkin spice latte is celebrating its 20th anniversary. I feel like that's not like that old. I feel like it'd be more than that. Like, what were the poor people in 2003 drinking for Christmas? I guess they were more probably shopping local at their local artisan coffee shops, which we really should be doing more. Because, like, clearly, with the 110 billion, Starbucks is doing fine. Oh, I was in Winners the other day, which for anyone that doesn't know Winners, it's like basically like Marshall's or like a TJ Maxx, like one of those stores. And you know how all those stores sell like really random snacks that you're like, where did this come from? Like, it all looks like not expired, but like near expiration or like was returned. And it's not really stuff that you can find at Walmart, which we'll get to Walmart in a second. I have some positive updates about them. And I said I had nothing to talk about. But I was in the snack section of Winners. And they had syrups. They had like coffee syrups. And they had I think it was either like a 1 liter or maybe even closer to a gallon jug of pumpkin spice syrup. Yeah, I'm just looking at a picture of it. 1.75, almost 2 liters, almost 60 ounces of pumpkin spice syrup, which anyone that listens to this episode or to this show, which is exactly 0 people, so no one knew this, but that's what I was trying to order online at Amazon. Now, I didn't get it because I was like, what am I supposed to do with 2 liters of pumpkin spice, with almost 2 liters of pumpkin spice syrup? Like, I think that would last more pumpkin spice seasons than needed. And I do just want to test, because my problem with the pumpkin spice latte is because of its limited edition nature, I sometimes forget that I don't love it as much as I want to, if that makes sense. Like, I usually have about 1 a year, and I'll be so excited to get it, and then I'll get it, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is fine. But then last year, I remember liking it better than I had in previous years. So maybe my palate changed, or something to do with the effects of COVID, changed my palate, or maybe I can't taste anything. I swear to you. And I don't lie on this. I maybe do hyperbole a lot, but I don't lie. I don't think my taste has been the same since I had COVID. And I had COVID the only time I know for certain, I've probably had it before or since or after or whatever. The only time that I knew for sure I had it was April of 2022, which is just slightly embarrassing because like I had made it, I was so close. Like I was 2 years deep and I hadn't had it, and like things were starting to reopen, and it was sort of starting to become not a thing of the past, because it's not even a thing of the past now, but like we were slowly kind of getting out of whatever fog we had been in the past 2 years. And I got it. And it was at the point where like it was not a novelty to have. Like everyone had it. It wasn't like, I wasn't special. And nor should I have been, but I maybe would have liked to be. But whatever. That's fine. I'm not mad about it. I've gotten over it. And what is kind of funny to me is forever and always my Costco membership, the day I got my Costco membership was the best and worst day of my life. Best because I got a Costco membership. I feel like it's like a big step. It's like high school graduation, university graduation, you get your first car, moving out, like all that type of stuff. And then Costco membership day is like all in that kind of ranking. Which, P.S., Costco membership is the cheapest of all of those things that I listed, except maybe high school graduation, because that, is, you have to kind of, well, you don't have to graduate, but you have to, anyway. Well, no, I stand by that. I think the Costco graduation is cheaper than all of that put together or individually. It's like $60 a year. $60 a year for pure joy? I'll pay for that. And I do. And then it renewed, and I didn't mean for it to renew, but like I wasn't mad that it renewed, and now I think I'm just stuck with it. And gladly will be stuck with it. But my point in saying that is the day I got my Costco membership, I tested positive for COVID like the next day. So I have COVID in my Costco picture, the picture on the back of my card. So I don't know how many people can say that. Probably a few. And they let me keep my hat on. It was the best day of my life. I thought I was going to have like hat hair in my Costco picture, which really would be fine because who looks at a Costco picture? Like it's not, I try and present it as my primary piece of ID the few times I'm asked, but like I would obviously give it to like the border agent or whatever, and then they say, well, no, this is highly illegal, and then like threaten stuff. But you know what I mean? It's my primary piece of ID in my heart. It's like the chicken nuggets, number 6 on the menu, number 1 in my heart. But anyway, yeah, so pumpkin spice is coming back. I don't know how we got there, but I figured it out. I'm going to test and make sure that I still like the flavors of pumpkin spice. And then, if that is the case, I will pull the trigger on the $12, almost 2 liter vat of pumpkin spice syrup. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great first pumpkin spice weekend. I feel like the past little bit has been so hot that like I've gotten what I've needed to get out of summer, and I'm ready to move on. Although I have this thing where like my favorite season is always the season that just passed. Like I've said from the dawn of time, I hate spring. But then when spring ended this year, I was like, oh, you know what? Spring wasn't so bad. I miss spring. And then it's like, well, I'm not going to get spring for like 9 months, which is like how long it takes a baby to grow. You know? It's like not a short amount of time. I think it's closer to 10 months. Regardless, I hope everyone enjoys the first weekend of pumpkin spice. I hope you get what is actually the exciting part, which is the pumpkin cream cheese muffin. I don't know if you don't know, the pumpkin cream cheese muffin is the muffin from Starbucks. That is a pumpkin muffin on the outside. There's like pumpkin seeds on the top to make it look healthy. And then you get just a glob of cream cheese right down the center. Also, looking forward to the pumpkin loaf. The pumpkin loaf was very good as well. And then they had a pumpkin scone, but I think that might be in the snack graveyard. Remember Snack Graveyard? Anyone who doesn't know, which is everybody because no one listens to the show, in the early days, episodes 1 through probably 8, maybe 9, we used to do a segment called Snack Graveyard. And it was all of the snacks that got discontinued and that I liked and missed. And it was a really therapeutic way of talking through really what are some of the more harrowing experiences in my life, which is when you get something, fast food, snack item from the store, and then they stop carrying it, which is basically my life. Like, for whatever reason, if I try something that has been long available at either like a fast food or a supermarket, it's the kiss of death, because I'll buy it and then the following Thursday, gone. And it's like, what? Like, why does that happen to me? Why do good things happen to bad people? I also learned that Mercury is Gatorading again. I don't fully know what that means. I just know when things go wrong, a lot of people blame the Gatoration of Murderade, of Mercury for that. And really, you can think of this in two ways. You could say, oh, that sucks. Mercury's in Gatorade, or I can't remember I think it's retrograde. I've been saying it wrong for so long, like kind of on purpose, that I forget what the actual term is. I think Mercury's in retrograde. I don't know what it means. All I know is that people blame stuff going wrong on that. So really, instead of like being upset that, this is our fate, I think we should all just be happy that we have something to blame it on. Like, oh, you forgot to do, that thing for work. Just blame Mercury. It's not your fault. You rear-ended someone? Mercury. You accidentally ate raw chicken because you thought it was cooked and then it wasn't, and then you puked everywhere? Gatorade. Quite literally, because I think Gatorade helps if you with the electrolytes if you're puking a lot. So, Gatorade. Okay, what else? Oh, the good news about Walmart. Okay, so the past couple trips that I've gone to the Americas, I go every once in a while and just kind of refill on some snacks that I can't buy here. Whatever. I Trader Joe's, they do not have here. They used to have here a Trader Joe's, not bootleg, it was the Trader Joe's stuff, but I think it was somebody who would buy it in bulk and then drive it across the border and then sell it here for profit. And I think for a while, Trader Joe's was suing them, but they were somehow able to stay afloat, and then it became too much and they couldn't do it anymore. So they do not exist anymore. So I have to do it the hard way and go all the way to another country to get my Trader Joe's stuff. And I can't wait for the next time I go, because then they'll have all the fall stuff and pumpkin shenanigans. But the last time I'd gone to Walmart there, I'd been getting these, what I now have found out are the Walmart version of Girl Guide cookies. In Canada, we only have two types of Girl Guide cookies. We have the mint ones, I think they're called Thin Mints, and then we have these checkered cookies. It's like an Oreo, but oh wait, no. It is like an Oreo. Okay, I'll explain the confusion in a second, but it's like a 2-sleeve pack. One sleeve is like a golden Oreo, vanilla cookies with vanilla cream, and then the other side is a double chocolate Oreo, where it's the chocolate cookies with the chocolate cream. Now, the confusion there for a second, I thought it was a checkered situation, because I will take one cookie of each, take one side off of both, and then with the two sides that came off, make a new cookie, and then with the two sides, take the 4 sides, and then do a chocolate and vanilla on one, and a chocolate and vanilla on one. So I kind of forgot that that's not how they come. But we only have those two types of cookies. Now in the States, they have, those Girl Guides are very busy. They're just selling cookies, I think, for eternity, because they have, I think, 12 different types of cookies. Now, I've learned that these cookies that I'm getting from Walmart are the fake versions of those. And it's the I don't know what they're called in Girl Guide language, but in Walmart Great Value language, one is called peanut butter fudge or something. It's kind of like a thin mint, but the mint part is peanut butter as opposed to mint. And then they have a chocolate caramel fudge. Now, I was thinking that these were exclusive to the Americas. And then, little beholded me, or whatever, I think I just made a saying, that's okay. Little beholded me, I was in the cookie aisle at Walmart, and there they were. They had both. They had the peanut butter ones and the caramel coconut fudge. I don't know, they're in a blue package. Literally the best cookies I've ever had. I ate the entire container almost. I left a couple, so I could say I didn't eat the entire container. And then bought a second container, and we're well on our way to the end of that one. And I just have to say, I think everyone should try it. I think that they should be the official cookie of the Nobody Asked for This podcast. I can't really explain what it is. It's like, there is some sort of like a shortbread or something. It's like, in a ring shape. It's like a very, very small donut. It's a cookie, it's not a donut, but it's like a ring. Yeah, it might be like a shortbread covered in coconut, dipped in caramel, and then the bottom has fudge around it, and there's a fudge like drizzle on the top. And it's the best thing I ever ate in my life. And I like coconut, but it doesn't taste so much like coconut. The problem with coconut is if you put coconut in, next to, on, even near the vicinity of something, it will taste like coconut. Your whole thing will taste like coconut. It's the sweet version of peppers. I like peppers with ranch. I like peppers with hummus. I like peppers with just air. I'll eat a pepper, or like a cold, like a crunchy raw pepper on what's the word? It's like a charcuterie, but it's for just when it's vegetables. I don't know, but there's like a French word for like a platter of vegetables and dip or something. I don't know. But the second you put peppers, like you saute a pepper and you put it in something, your entire meal will taste like peppers. Which is, I guess if you like the taste of peppers, good for you. If you don't like the taste of peppers, you're SOL. Like, I don't know what to tell you. They're like very strong. A similar thing happens with coconut. But my point with these cookies is that I don't mind the taste of coconut. I like coconut. But they don't taste so coconutty that it like ruins the integrity of the cookie. So I would recommend everyone goes to try those. And they can really be like a bonding moment between the States and Canada, because we can both have them. They have different packaging, but they taste exactly the same. I'm sure they're straight out of the same factory. So if you do anything, if you listen to any piece of advice that I've ever given on this podcast, which is very minimal, I think I'm kind of aware that like I'm not really in a place where I can just be giving advice. Try those cookies. Also, I have a very, very happy, very relieving announcement for me in particular. Last week, I was talking about the Krispy Kreme pumpkin spice donuts, how they start selling them in April, or sorry, imagine. They start selling them in August, beginning of first week of August, and they get rid of them the last week of August, and then that is it. I tried them. I missed out last year. I tried them this year, and they were very good. And it was just such a joy and a relief and just a true moment for society when I finally came in contact with these donuts. Now, they were pretty good. Like, they weren't anything to write home about. But the problem with me is, like, I need to try it, even if I know it's going to be bad. Even if I know it's not going to be my favorite, I have to try it to just kind of check it off, and then I'll never have to try it again. It's just, I need to just take a picture, get the t-shirt, and then I can move on with my life. I'm usually pretty good about that part, but anyway, so I would recommend trying them. They had this like pecan which has nothing to do with pumpkin spice, but it was like a maple pecan donut that I think they threw in there just for kicks and giggles. It was pretty good. I have to be honest. I cannot tell a lie. Still a little confused as to why their pumpkin spice says goodbye in August when all of the other pumpkin spice starts. Like maybe I think they just want to be like the only one. The only one. Yeah. Like they just kind of want to be the star of the show. Get in, get out, and then they're done. They're like the people at a graduation whose last name starts with like A. Like they show up, they get their diploma, and they sneak out the back before they even get to like the E's or the F's. So, yeah. What else can we talk about? We're really, like, summer is actually coming to an end. I was talking about this last week, how people really write off August, but we're in the 20s. I think the next episode, it'll come out on the last day of August, and then it's September. And then we have to, because this year has like, and I know we say this every year, but like this year really has gone by really fast. But I think we need to kind of press the slow down button at September, because September through the end of the year, I think, is universally regarded as the best time of the year. The best stuff happens. It's the best holidays. It's the best food. It's the best pumpkin spice. It's the best pumpkin patch time. You can't really go any other time of year. But you can still kind of pretend that, like, September is good because you can still kind of pretend, like, whatever state of delusion you want to live in, it can kind of be true for you. Like, if you want to pretend that it's still summer, you can, because it technically is. But if you want to pretend that it's full fall, you know, on September 12th, when it really doesn't start till closer to the end of the month, which is really dumb and I've talked about before, and I will not bore you again with the details of my theory as to why all the season should start on, like, the first of a month. But you can do that too. September can be fall or summer. Choose your own adventure. Like, you can start decorating for Christmas, or you can acknowledge, like, Halloween. I think I'm going to pretend, like, I think I'm going to try for Halloween this year. Not like dress up, probably, because I have nowhere to dress up for, but I think I'm really going to get in the Halloween spirit. I think I get so excited for Christmas that I kind of, like, zoom past Halloween, but I'm really going to try and sit and marinate and reflect in, you know, the ghouls and the goblins, and that four pack of the red box of chocolate with the Smarties, the Aero, the Kit Kat, and the Coffee Crisp. You know that box? Like, it's like 60. It's Costco as well, I'm sure, sells them, but I think other grocery stores do too. And there's always, the Smarties are left to the last. Like, there's nothing worse than seeing that box of candy in your pantry that you meant to save for Halloween, and it's like October 27th, and you've pretty much eaten the whole thing, but then you open it and it's just Smarties left. I don't know if the Smarties are always left because, like, the weight, like, the box of Smarties weighs heavier than the other chocolates, so it just kind of sinks to the bottom. So when you just, like, stick your hand in there and try and grab something, you don't grab the Smarties, and then they're all left. Or if everyone just secretly hates Smarties. I mean, it's chocolate. Of course I'll eat it. You know, I don't. But I think we need to get better at, like, incorporating chips into those, like, grab and go style boxes. I know they have, like, the snack size bags of chips, but I think we need to figure something out, because sometimes I don't always want, like, a chocolate. I want, like, a little, like something that size, but that tastes like Cheetos. Like, why aren't we wrapping, like, a Cheeto? But now that I'm saying it, that sounds sad. So I don't know. Because, like, sometimes I want salt. I don't want sugar. But it's more convenient to just eat, like, a Hershey Kiss, or, like, that little Oreo thing. I'm gonna pitch that to somebody. Like, we need to just, like, can we wrap, like, 4 Cheetos in a bag? But again, that sounds sad. And then it's like, are you really gonna get the Cheeto dust, which I've heard has a, like, actual proper definition? It's called Cheetle. Like, the little droppings from a Cheeto that are left on your fingers is called Cheetle. Like, is it worth getting Cheetle on your fingers, underneath your nails, everywhere for 4 Cheetos? Like, I don't know. And just like that, I have filled half an hour of nonsense. And it all started with a song that went a little something like this. Welcome back. See, you remember? Done like that. I hope you all have a splendid last week of summer. I hope you go out into the sun, practice sun safety. That sucker's still there. Just because summer's coming to an end doesn't mean the sun isn't going to burn you any less. Well, it kind of does, I guess, depending on where you live. But, like, don't put your guard down. Put that sunscreen on. Reapply. Don't forget to get the Krispy Kreme pumpkin spice donuts. Don't forget to get the pumpkin spice latte tomorrow or today, unless they haven't announced some sort of partnership with the Nobody Asked For This podcast, in which case then you probably, like, you can forget a little bit. Like, it's just not as urgent if I don't have any, like, financial stake in the game, but, like, still get it if that's what your heart desires. But, like, if you weren't going to get it, like, don't get it because I said something. Like, don't let me remind you if they haven't announced a partnership with me and my brand. Like, if the only reason you were going to get it is because you heard this podcast, which I know no one listens to, like, I got it. But if, like, a hypothetical person was hypothetically listening to this hypothetical episode and they were reminded of the pumpkin spice latte and then we're going to go, if this is the situation you're in, just check our Instagram. And if you don't see any sort of, like, branded Starbucks post, just forget I ever said anything. But if you were excited counting on the days for pumpkin spice, like, don't let me stop you just because they may or may not have sponsored the show. And I really wish I could provide you with a more firm answer, but they're really dragging their feet on this whole contract thing. And I gotta get this episode out. This is not live. I have to, do heavy editing. And I just can't do that in one day. So, anyway, if you liked what you're hearing, please go to podcast.nobodyaskforthis.podbean.com and you can see everywhere you can find us. You can, I think, listen to the episodes right on there. Obviously, if you're listening to this, and I don't need to tell you how to listen because you're doing it. But just for kicks and giggles, you can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple, Samsung, Amazon. And then you scream at your Alexa to play the Nobody Asked For This podcast, in which she'll probably then play like 17 other podcasts that are the same title and just more popular than me. But then when you hear someone that sounds like they have a sinus infection, but it is in fact not sick, that's just how they talk, tell her to stop, turn it up, and then start listening to the correct Nobody Asked For This podcast. But anyway, I hope everyone has a great week, has a great kickoff to the pumpkin spice season, does not miss the Krispy Kreme donuts, and see you next week. Well, you'll hear me next week. Thank you, bye.